3 ways Jesus is a Bitcoiner. The hour is coming and is now here when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. Jesus urges his followers to judge based on visible fruit, not empty promises. Welcome to Biblical Bitcoin. Today we're diving into a thought-provoking exploration, 3 ways Jesus is a Bitcoiner. Yes, you heard that right. While Bitcoin is a modern decentralized currency, its core principles, decentralization, verification over trust, and open source accessibility, resonate deeply with the teachings and actions of Jesus Christ. We'll ground this discussion in Scripture, drawing from the Gospels to show how Jesus' life and teachings align with these principles. We'll also connect each idea to Bitcoin's design, offering a fresh lens on both faith and finance. This will be a 4-part series inspired by the Jesus Bitcoin Connection by Eric Cram. Thank you, Eric, for these incredibly insightful thoughts on the relationship between the ideas that surround Bitcoin and the life and teachings of Jesus. Whether you are Christian, a Bitcoiner, or both, I promise this book is worth the read. Let's begin with our first principle, decentralization. Bitcoin's defining feature is its decentralized structure. No single authority controls it. Instead, it operates through a distributed network of nodes. This challenges centralized systems, like governments, banks, or institutions, that often consolidate power. Remarkably, Jesus' ministry reflects a similar critique of centralized authority, emphasizing access to God for all, without gatekeepers. The story of the woman at the well in John 4:7-26 powerfully illustrates this principle. In this passage, Jesus encounters a Samaritan woman at Jacob's well. The Samaritans and Jews were divided, not only by ethnicity, but by religious practice. The woman, aware of this divide, engages Jesus in a theological discussion. In John 4:20, she states, "Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you, Jews, say that Jerusalem is the place where people ought to worship." Here she highlights the centralized religious systems of her time. The Samaritans claimed Mount Gerizim as the sacred site for worship, while the Jews upheld the temple in Jerusalem as the exclusive place to encounter God. Both systems were rigid, tying spiritual access to specific locations and authorities, whether Samaritan priests or the Jewish Sanhedrin. Jesus' response is revolutionary. In John 4:21-23, he says, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem will you worship the Father. The hour is coming and is now here when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth." This declaration dismantles the centralized frameworks of both Samaritan and Jewish worship. Jesus proclaims that true worship is not confined to a physical location or mediated by religious elites. Instead, it is a direct, personal connection to God, accessible to all, Jew, Samaritan, or otherwise. The Samaritan woman, an outsider by gender, ethnicity, and social status, is invited into this new paradigm, where spiritual access is decentralized and universal. Jesus' critique of centralized power extends further. In Matthew 23:8-12, he warns against the titles and hierarchies of religious leaders, saying, "You are all brothers. The greatest among you shall be your servant." This flattens spiritual authority, much like Bitcoin's peer-to-peer network eliminates the need for a central bank. Again, in Luke 21-8, when the chief priests and scribes question Jesus' authority, he sidesteps their gatekeeping, refusing to let them control the narrative. So how does this connect to Bitcoin? Just as Jesus democratized access to God, Bitcoin democratizes finance. It allows individuals to transact without relying on banks or governments, empowering the marginalized, like the Samaritan woman, to participate in a system that doesn't exclude them. Decentralization in both cases is about freedom and inclusion. Decentralization is just the start. Let's move to our second principle, verification instead of trust. Bitcoin operates on a principle of don't trust, verify. Every transaction is validated by the network, ensuring transparency and integrity without blind faith in intermediaries. Rather than putting your trust in men, as the Bible warns against, you can put your trust in a universal truth, math. Sound familiar? Jesus, too, emphasized verification over mere trust, inviting people to test his claims through observation and evidence. Let's explore 4 scriptural examples. First, in Luke 6:43 through 45, Jesus teaches about the good and corrupt tree. No good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. Each tree is known by its own fruit. This is a call to verify character through actions, not words. Just as Bitcoin's blockchain is transparent, allowing anyone to audit transactions. Jesus urges his followers to judge based on visible fruit, not empty promises. Next, consider Jesus' first interaction with his disciples. In John 1:35 through 39, when 2 of John the Baptist's disciples ask, "Where are you staying?" Jesus doesn't just tell them. He says, "Come and you will see." He invites them to verify his identity through direct experience, much like Bitcoin's open ledger invites scrutiny. Then, in John 1:45 through 51, we see the calling of Nathanael. Philip tells Nathanael about Jesus, but Nathanael is skeptical. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Jesus doesn't rebuke his doubt, but provides evidence, revealing knowledge of Nathanael's private moment under the fig tree. When Nathanael believes, Jesus promises, "You will see greater things than these." This encouragement of verification, offering more signs to confirm faith, mirrors Bitcoin's system, where trust is built through repeated, verifiable transactions. Finally, the story of doubting Thomas in John 20:24 through 29 is striking. Thomas refuses to believe in Jesus' resurrection without physical proof. When Jesus appears, he invites Thomas to touch his wounds, saying, "Do not disbelieve, but believe." Jesus honors Thomas' need for verification, just as Bitcoin's consensus mechanism ensures every participant can validate the truth. Bitcoin's verification system eliminates reliance on fallible institutions, replacing trust with cryptographic proof. Similarly, Jesus encouraged his followers to seek evidence, fostering a faith grounded in reality. Verification leads us to our final principle: open source. Bitcoin is open source, meaning its code is freely accessible for anyone to inspect, use, or build upon. This transparency invites participation and innovation. Jesus' teachings embody a similar openness, inviting all to explore and share the truth of his message. In Mark 4:21 through 23, Jesus uses the metaphor of a lamp. Is a lamp brought in to be put under a basket or under a bed and not on a stand? For nothing is hidden except to be made manifest. The gospel is not a secret to be hoarded, but a light to be shared openly, accessible to all who seek it. This mirrors Bitcoin's open source ethos, where the protocol is public, inviting scrutiny and collaboration. We see this invitation again in John 7:37 through 38, where Jesus cries out, "If anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as the scripture has said, out of his heart will flow rivers of living water." The call is universal. Anyone can come, see, and partake. Similarly, in Revelation 22:17, the Bible closes with an open invitation. "Let the one who is thirsty come. Let the one who desires take the water of life without price." This echoes Bitcoin's permissionless nature, where anyone can join the network without gatekeepers. Jesus' teachings were not restricted to an elite few, but shared freely, inviting all to investigate and spread the message. Bitcoin's open source code does the same, empowering individuals to participate in a global financial system without barriers. The openness to question or inspect is a hallmark of ideas and people who align with truth. I'm going to say that again. The openness to question or inspect is a hallmark of ideas and people who align with truth. As we've seen, Jesus' ministry aligns strikingly with Bitcoin's principles. His challenge to centralized religious authority parallels Bitcoin's decentralized network. His call for verification through actions and evidence reflects Bitcoin's trustless system. And his open invitation to all mirrors Bitcoin's open source accessibility. This comparison invites deeper reflection. How do decentralized systems, whether spiritual or financial, empower individuals? How does verification build trust in both faith and technology? And how does open access transform communities? Thank you for joining Biblical Bitcoin. If this resonated with you, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep exploring the intersections of faith and innovation. Until next time, may you seek truth in a sovereign manner, verify wisely, and share the light. Thank you.